What is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're doing well today. We're going to be doing my full review of the Kunwu Chad. Let's get into it. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to do some size comparisons, profile comparison, check the weight, and then we'll jump into my thoughts and impressions. Let's kick it off with the size comparisons. Here it is against the Spyderco Para 3 and the Spyderco Shaman. You can see the Chad is definitely a full-size knife. It is bigger than the Para 3 and coming in line with the Shaman. Let's go ahead and do a quick comparison to some budget knives. Here it is against the Miguron Moriarl. Let's get that Shaman out of the way, and we'll bring in the Civivi Bull Tusk. You can see the Bull Tusk more full-sized, more in line with what you see on the Chad. Let's check the thickness out on this one. How does it compare against the Bull Tusk first? And I would say those look like they're about even. And then let's see against the Shaman. Oh, whoops. Against the Shaman, you can see, I would consider those about even. This feels like it's close to a 5-ounce knife, you know, with steel liners and titanium. And I don't know what PM50 comes in as far as density, but let's see what it's coming in on the scales. Coming in at 4.9 ounces with that titanium pocket clip. I think it'd probably be just a skosh lighter, probably like 4.8 with the wire pocket clip that is included. And I do want to mention that it does come with additional hardware, and it also includes the tool to disassemble this knife, which is really nice on Kunwu's part. I personally prefer the aesthetics of the titanium pocket clip, and Kunwu did a good job because in hand it feels very nice. This very much reminds me of my S-Tau, except the S-Tau is a frame lock. This being a crossbar lock, I think is why you're seeing this being referred to as the Chad. I think it's good too that they didn't come out with another X-Tau because they already have an X-Tau in the drop point, so you do need a different naming convention to identify the sheep's foot crossbar lock. So I do like the different naming conventions, but this very much feels like the S-Tau to me. The knurling on here is very nice. It gives very good confidence for the grip. Feels good. I thought it was going to be a little bit rougher going in and out of the pocket. You do feel it when it goes in and out of the pocket, but it doesn't prevent it from going in and out. There's plenty of spring here. The tension on the clip actually causes more of an issue with it going in and out of the pocket than the actual knurling does. So this here, it does need a little bit more breaking in. I think if this were carried daily, it would break in and it would go in and out of the jeans just fine. But like any lighter material, pants, shorts, etc., you may feel that it kind of pulls down on them and maybe even will bunch up. So just keep that in mind versus the wire clip. It is a little bit of a trade-off. The knife itself has really good action. They did a nice job updating the springs or using heavier springs. Whatever it is that they did has had an impact here because it does feel like there's a little bit more resistance. The thumb studs are as tight in as they can be, and you're going up into the pivot. So it does feel very satisfying to thumb flick. The reverse flick, however, I have found like it feels a little bit less natural to kind of kick it open, and that actually hit the tip of my finger when it opened. It kind of ran into there. And that's kind of the issue that you find with the crossbar locks. You almost need like wrist, or you kind of wish that there was a fuller down there that you could kind of come up off of and flick it out. Now, I did recently do magnet install on my Demco 8020.5, and you may or may not be able to see that. They're right there. I think something like that would greatly enhance the satisfaction on the opening with the reverse flick. But with the thumb flick and the thumb studs, you should feel like it has good, nice action to it. Very good to open, very satisfying. I have no issues. I really like these thumb studs. I have found like coming right onto the corner allows enough of my finger to kind of hang off and to hit that ribbing and to open. It doesn't feel any worse up top, but I feel like I want to slide off a little bit even though I don't. So the ribbing could be resolving what it is that I'm worried about happening, but truth be told, it's never happened. Same with these crossbar lock studs. These are really good. They're ramped. So when you go to grab them, you're actually getting a nice pinch here. And it's very, very, very nice to pull back on. I'm very confident. I like that ramp style. It's very nice from a usability perspective. I will say though, if this is like the X-Towel, and I will refer you to that video because this is a pass around knife. Shout out, thanks Kevin from Lefty EDC for allowing me to check this one out. But that X-Towel was really a challenge to disassemble. There's so many layers to this with the steel liner, so you got to take the outer scales off, and then there's the inner steel liners as well that you have to deal with these studs that you have to remove to get down to the crossbar lock. So it's a little bit more involved, but I will say from a maintenance perspective, you could really just pop the pivot out. You should be able to slide these out. Let me see if these are recessed. Oh, that is too bright. There we go. Little hard to tell because it's such a tight fit. No, they look like they're sitting straight on top of the steel liners, and I don't know if I can get that to show on camera or not. But it looks like they're sitting on top of the steel liners, so you should be able to just pop the pivot and slide it out. But honestly, to clean and maintenance, it's going to be easier to take it all apart from one side, push the pivot through, and then not push the pivot through, sorry, take the crossbar lock off, and then you can take everything out from the top and lift it sort of like you do a frame lock. But really refer back to that video because my memory is a little foggy and I'm not 100% sure on that. Ergos, really good, action really good. The blade, I did a very light test because it is a pass around, and I don't know how many people have had it before me, but the factory edge still feels like it's really good. Passed through the couple pieces of cardboard that I tested it on really well. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, we're in the garage. We got the Chad. We're just going to test it lightly. Again, this is a pass around knife, so full disclaimer, any blemishes you might see could be because it's been in the pass around, and it looks really good. This is, again, the PM50. I am not familiar with this steel. I do know that it is extremely tough, and I know that Kunwu reported back that they had some issues getting it ground, like time-wise, like the length of time that it took. So just gonna do, again, just a couple little tests. Very, very acute point. Going through that cardboard very nicely. I think it's because I replicated. I need my cutting board. It was supposed to come in yesterday, but it got delayed till Monday. So very nice tip. We're just gonna do a couple little, this is single ply. We're just gonna do a couple of cuts across here. Yeah, it's just like my S-Towel. Very slicey. It moves through the cardboard really good. We'll kick it back up to the desk. So hopefully that helped you see what I was referring to a moment ago, as far as how it feel like it would perform, and it really reminds me of my S-Towel. I love that Kunwu doesn't just give you 2 slabs of titanium. They give you some knurling. They give you some peel ply if you don't get the knurling. You get this micro milling here along the bottom as well, and I love that they include the titanium pocket clip. I swear the one on my Padre, and let me grab it real quick. Yeah, I think it is a little bit different. I think you got a little bit more length on it maybe, but it doesn't, well, mine might be, yeah, mine has a little less tension, so it could just be the break-in. The ramping looks the same, and I don't want to bump these two, but I think because of how it's mounted and it has that Y, I think I got a little more length. So maybe that's the difference. I'm not really sure, but I definitely know that that goes in and out of the pocket really well, especially on the thinner materials. Overall, I really like this. If you don't like the crossbar lock, the S-Towel is going to be perfect for you. If you do like the crossbar lock and it doesn't bother you, the thumb studs are in a good position, so it feels really good on the thumb. If you are one that likes to do the wrist flick, it's going to be really good because it's on bearings versus if you have a washer knife. And then if you do like to do the reverse flick, you gotta be able to position yourself in a good way to be able to hold onto the knife confidently. Which for me, I'm just kind of pinching it into the thumb, and letting it ride that way. The thumb stud feels like I want to slide off of a little bit, and it feels like it's skinning me some. I really like this model. I think from a utility knife, the profile's great, the ergos are really solid, and I just really like that what Kunwu's doing. I appreciate that they did this PM50 blade steel. Again, I don't have any in my inventory to refer to, so I don't know how it compares to other steels, but if it's been around through the pass around group and a lot of people have cut with it, it's holding up really, really well. If it's a few people, then it seems like it's factory fresh. I guess that's the best way I can describe it. A little harder to do with these overviews. That's my overview of the Kunwu Chad. Let me know what you think about this one down in the comments. Shout out to everyone out there that leaves the likes, comments, and is subscribed. I appreciate all support, and I love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.